Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing absolutely fantastic. We are here at the Chili Bowl tonight with the League of Outlaws IMCA style modified division. We have a 100 lap feature on tap here tonight. I bet you folks aren't used to seeing the modifieds driving around this small racetrack, but they got a set built for this, and we are in for a good time here. Tonight's session's in a open hosted. I believe there's roughly 20 or so drivers signed in to do action here tonight. We'll see if series regulars will be able to take home the checkered flag, or if one of the newcomers has some success and gives the regulars a run for their money as our practice session comes to a close. Who chopped the board? Chris Thibodeau at an 11:01, and Jared Murphy right there with him, neck and neck, as we close out the practice session. We're going to roll right into heat race number 1. First, let's take a look at the starting lineup for Heat 1. Now, some of these heats, we may not have all of these drivers, as not all of them are still in the session currently. I know some of them, they had to weed through some of the drivers, so it looks like we're only going to have 2 starters. That's going to be Derek Jones and Stephen Chun here in heat race number 1. Well, Tim, I think this may be our first ever heat race with just 2 drivers.
Well, I guess everyone's going to make it here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I know through the iRacing, and what did it say for transfers? 4?
Yeah, 4 per each heat.
And we only have 2 here in heat 1. Derek Jones takes the green flag. Stephen Chun right there behind him. Both drivers make their way through 3 and 4 down the front straightaway and into turn 1. Well, if there's one thing we've noted so far, Tim, not a lot of on-throttle time. Definitely a lot of off-throttle time to get these cars set and turned through the center of the corners. Maybe just about 2.5 seconds of full throttle on these straightaways.
Yeah, it seems like the only time that they're full throttle is setting into the turn. We got one bouncing off the outside wall, I believe. He's still going. That's the 17 machine of Stephen Chun.
Cross flags in the air for Derek Jones out front. He's out by a little over 1.25 seconds back to Stephen Chun. You said he got into the wall, but he was able to steer the car away and get back going. Is trying to chop into that lead of Jones ever so slightly. Crosses the line this time, 2 to go. If anything, the track did get reworked before we started heat racing action. You could, we loaded in and saw the tail end of that practice. The track had an awful lot of rubber in it, so a little bit different conditions to start heat racing action here tonight. But out of turn 4, newcomer Derek Jones and Stephen Chun finish 1-2 in heat 1. All right, let's get ready to take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 2. Here is the full starting lineup, but we'll see how many drivers take the grid here. 7 supposed to start. And it looks like only Alex Sun at the moment in the 52 machine has taken the grid here for heat race number 2. And a couple others file in. Braden Jarvis, Chris Thibodeau. Braden in the 10, Chris in the 44. As that will be our 3 starters here in heat number 2. Tim, what do you say you get us going here to kick off our second heat of the night?
All right, we're gonna have Brandon Jarvis leading Alex Sun and Chris Thibodeau through the last set of turns as they now set each other. Brandon Jarvis gets on the gas, stabs the brake, gets out to a great lead as Alex Sun looks to hold on to second as he was just under attack by Chris Thibodeau for a quick second as they now get signal file.
Yeah, absolutely. Single filed out quick. Braden Jarvis in the lead with about 0.8 of a second. Back to Alex Sun there in the 52. Sun's got a good line and a rhythm going around here. We'll see if he continues to eat away into Braden's lead in that 10 machine. Chris Thibodeau finally got the car gathered in. Starting to run some good lap times himself. But Alex Sun is slowly eating away at that advantage. As we come to the line this time, already 3 to go in heat number 2. Tim, I think Sun's got enough time to get there. I think.
Yeah, he's got time. He's gonna have a lap, just about a lap here, as he's right to the inside. As they start lap 8, they touch just a little bit. Oh, he gets loose. I think that's going to be it right there.
It is out of
Maybe
turn
one last.
4. Braden Jarvis takes the checkered flag, and Alex Sun with a valiant effort on that last lap to challenge him. Chris Thibodeau brings that 44 machine home in third here to close out our second heat of the night. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 3 again. Same thing continues on here with the starting lineups. Not every driver on the starting grid is going to be in our third heat, so we'll just see how many grid up. Looks like 3 have taken the grid so far. Looks like Tyler Bickford in the 07, AJ Hunsinger in the 33. Those are series regulars. And Joshua Neveroski in the 23 machine. That's a new name here. New face tonight. One more quick lap of pacing, and Tyler Bickford will get us going in heat number 3. Pace truck is off. Bickford, Neveroski. Side by side, Bickford gets going. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Bickford going to roll the bottom in 1 and 2. AJ Hunsinger had a peek to the inside of Neveroski. He settles in line there in the third spot for now. Lap 1 in the books. Neveroski might have a peek underneath Bickford. But Bickford with the momentum on the outside pulls away down the back stretch and through 3 and 4. Bickford maybe starting to stretch his legs a little bit. Almost out to 0.6 of a second back to Josh Neveroski. AJ Hunsinger trying something out just a little bit there on the inside. Try to challenge Neveroski for the second spot. Bickford now starting to stretch his legs up to a second advantage to our second place runner. 3 laps to go already in this one. Last time around, Joshua ran his quickest lap, but Bickford was still a touch quicker than that. Bickford still remains the quickest car in this heat. But both Neveroski and Hunsinger are also turning their quickest lap times yet. White flag already for that 07 machine as he drives through 3 and 4 and to the checkered flag. Tyler Beckford, winner, heat number 3. Joshua Neborowski will be second. Third goes to AJ Hunsinger in the 33 machine. All right, we continue to roll on through the night. Ready for heat number 4. Starting lineup you see on your screen now. It looks like a couple drivers have taken the grid here already. That's Landon Volkman and Robert Floyd. Robert Floyd in the O2 is a series regular here with the League of Outlaws. Landon Volkman is a new face here tonight with the series, as they can roll down the front straightaway. All right, Tim, do the honors here in heat 4.
Ooh, bless me. Landon Volkman, who will lead us here. He's blinking just a little bit as he takes the green. Robert Floyd in the O2 machine. I think that's some new colors for him right there. Landon Volkman is using a bit of a slider line here, not quite getting to the outside, but he's making it work. He's able to drive right off the corner, and it's sticking.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Floyd in the O2 is trying to play chase a little bit, as that last time around, Floyd was better than Volkman by about 1/10 of a second, so he's starting to eat back into that advantage. Volkman is running that little bit higher line than Floyd, and Floyd's taking advantage of it as he chops into that lead that time a little further. Practically nose and tail as we come to the line. 3 to go here in heat 4. One car brushes the outside wall. Again, if you miss your line just a little bit, there's not a lot of room for error. You'll get right up into that retaining wall as quick as an eye blink. Already coming to the white flag here in heat number 4. Volkman with 0.6 of a second to Floyd. Down the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Landon Volkman's going to be your winner here in heat 4. Robert Floyd brings that machine home in the second spot. Here's the starting lineup for heat race number 5. We'll see which drivers will take the grid here. Supposed to be 6 total, but as of right now, looks like we're only going to have one driver. And let me reset. My timing and scoring real quick.
As Pace Truck dives off, we're just gonna have 8 laps of Harley all by himself. Gets a free pass for a test drive, gets to see where he's most comfortable at with no pressure.
Absolutely, it's practically like a single car time trial, or even in practice, just one driver here in heat number 5. Harley Dace. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please let us know out there in the chat if you're watching. It is a new face with the series, so gotta let us know if we pronounce the last name correctly. Well, that lap was an improvement from the last 11:64 that time around. We'll see what happens here as he takes the cross flags. That time 11:69. So is he starting to average out his lap times? Yeah, Tim, it's got to be unique for the drivers. You know, these cars are not like the dirt midget that runs here at the Chili Bowl. You know, there's a lot smaller form factor, so you got to be right on the money with your lines and throttle and steering inputs here.
You ain't kidding.
There's not a lot of room for error. Out of turn 4 to the checkered flag, and that's going to complete heat race number 5. Harley Days crosses the line. And I believe we potentially have 2 or 3 more heats, as this would be heat race number 6. Again, this is the full starting lineup. We'll see which drivers actually take the grid. Looks like 1 right now, maybe 2. Corey Hightower in the 34, James Foster Jr. in the 50 machine. As it looks like that will be our only 2 starters here in heat race number 6. Looks like these drivers might be a little bit racy, as it almost looked like they were bumping into one another under the pace laps. 34 machine, I think, brushed the wall coming out of turn 4 there. Oh, thank you. Last name's pronounced Dice. Harley Dice. That was the winner of heat race number 5. Thank you for tuning in and letting us know. Green flag in the air for James Foster, as he blinks a little bit through the middle of 1 and 2. Corey Hightower right behind him. Oh! Contact was made, and the 34 of Hightower about spun Foster in the 50, but he backed out of it and let him gather it back in to continue on. So Hightower goes back to work to try to get back to the back bumper of James Foster as he continues to have some blinking issues. Five to go this time. Hightower closing that gap. Oh, another big blink from the 50. Hightower probably didn't know where he was at. That's one of the scariest things in the sim. You never know if he's going to appear and your car will be inside of his. Hightower is right there with 2 to go at the line. Foster again a big blink. Hightower is managing, and he's going to have a look to the outside, has to jump on the binders and makes contact with the outside wall, trying to avoid the 50 machine of James Foster. White flag in the air for the 50 machine. Very unfortunate for Corey there, but James Foster will hold on to the win of heat race number 6. Corey Hightower with a banged up race car is going to come home in the 2nd spot, but what a great effort for him. He was challenging Foster for the race, the heat race win there. Oh, this is the starting lineup for heat race number 7. Again, we'll see which drivers choose to grid up. Looks like 3 total. James Murphy in the 65. Series regular and points leader. Matthew Lind in the 3 and Connor Cullen in the 16. Also, the League of Outlaws upcoming, one of their big events. They're planning a Super Nationals, so if you're tuned in tonight and watching as a driver, maybe a spectator, we'll have the coverage of the event, but if you're a driver, you can get signed up for their Super Nationals event in the Discord. If you need any of that info, please let us know. James Murphy. Points leader coming into the night, takes the green flag here in heat race number 7. Matthew Lynn's right there behind him. Not going to let him rest here on lap number 1. The 16 machine of Connor Collin gets a little high and backs the car into the outside wall ever so slightly. Already 2 down, 6 to go. James Murphy starting to do what he does best as he stretches that advantage to about 0.6 of a second. Got that car starting to wrap the bottom. Matthew Lind has decided to move his car up to the outside line. As he's doing that, though, let's see, that last time around, Lind was a tail slower than Murphy. Connor Collin was actually the quickest the last time around there, the 3rd place driver. Already 3 to go. These drivers are starting to get a good feel for this racetrack as it takes on rubber. White flag in the air for the 65 machine of James Murphy. James works the inside through 3 and 4 like he always does, and he's going to take the checkered flag here in heat 7. Matthew Lind will be 2nd. Connor Collin will bring it home in the 3rd spot. All right, this should be our final heat of the night, heat race number 8. These are the drivers that are scheduled to start heat race number 8. We'll see which ones actually take the grid here.
We have one more heat after this, but I don't think anyone. Oh, there we go.
Looks like Taylor Carruthers in the 47 machine. At least it's 47 in our time in his scoring. You see the 3 on the side of his race car. As it looks like we're going to have another single car heat. I know the league admins had the open hosted session tonight and allowed a bunch of drivers join in, but they do vet the drivers as they see them in the session. And if they don't like what they see, they do, disqualify them so they can't race. But out of turn 4, Carruthers takes the green flag on heat race number 8. A solo practice session, if you will, for this driver. No competitors, nothing to worry about, just make the 8 laps. As he completes lap number 2, go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say, Bentley, you should check out the drone chopper cam. It's just gonna show up as the chopper. We got a little drone inside the building here tonight.
Yeah, it chases down the car. The camera from high above the Tulsa Expo Center is, you can see Carruthers work his way around. We got a digger cam down here in turn number 1 as Carruthers works his way by on the outside. This is from inside of the driver's cockpit. As he comes to 2 to go here. Works his way down the backstretch and into turn 3 for the final time. As you see, not much banking, but you definitely can see the driver sawing on the wheel. A lot of right input in that steering wheel as he works his way around for the final time and to the line to take the checkered flag in heat race number 8. And like you said, Tim, you were right. We are going to have 9 heat races. This is the full starting lineup for heat race number 9. Looks like we got 3 drivers on the racetrack. Matt Pridgeon, Gavin Ropchin, and Jared Murphy. Matt Pridgeon and Jared Murphy are series regulars with the League of Outlaws. Gavin Ropchin is a newcomer here tonight. Interesting colors. I tell you what, Tim, that 03 machine definitely pops.
I did not see it. Oh, yeah.
All right, how about you get us going here in the final heat, Tim?
Is it yellow and black on your
Mhm.
screen? Okay, I just wanted to make sure here. As that 03 machine gets going, he gets a little loose. The 64 looks to take advantage of that as he's to the inside of Matt Pridgeon. They're almost 3 wide for the lead here. They're Pridgeon letting him know he's there. Pridgeon's to the outside. He gets loose. They're now battling for second again, right behind our leader. As the 64 is just trying to roll that bottom, trying to get to the inside of that 03.
Tell you what, fantastic battle here in our final heat of the night. Ropchin's out front, but Matt Bridge and Jared Murphy have not been able to leave each other alone as they continue to run side by side as we hit the halfway point here in our final heat. Tell you what, Ropchin might be trying to stretch his legs a little bit as he puts a little bit of a gap between himself and Bridgen. Bridgen and Ropchin ran the exact same lap time the last time around. Ropchin was the quickest there. Jared Murphy, Tim, already looking to the inside of Bridgen once again.
He's just wanting to get there, just not enough.
Out of turn number 4. Gavin Ropchin wins our final heat. Matt Bridgen holds on for second. Jared Murphy crosses the line to finish our heat racing action of the night. All right, 10 minutes on the clock for a warm-up session for the drivers. It looks like they're going to negate the warm-up session. We're going to go right into our feature action, I believe. You hear anything from race control, Tim?
Yeah, they're just going through a few rules here.
All right, starting lineup tonight. Row number 1 will be Derek Jones and Braden Jarvis. Row 2, Tyler Bickford, Landon Volkman. Row 3, Harley Dice, James Foster Jr. Row 4, James Murphy, Taylor Carruthers. Row 5, Gavin Ropchin, Stephen Chun. Row 6, Alex Sun, Josh Nevorowski. Row 7, Robert Floyd, Evan Dawson. Row 8, Corey Hightower, Matthew Lind. Row 9, Connor Kuykendall, Matt Pridgeon. Row 10, Dominic Freeman, Chris Thibodeau. Row 11, AJ Hunsinger, Kyle Whitworth. Row 12, Carter Smith, Mackenzie Braswell. I believe the list is going to continue on, but we're not going to have every single one of these drivers start here tonight. But we do have a majority. I think about 20 or so is taking the grid. 15 is the final number. 100 long laps here. We'll about to see what happens. Tim, any drivers you got your eye on?
I think you got to keep your eye on every driver here. I mean, anything and everything can happen. We're at an extremely unforgiving track. zero room for error.
Absolutely. We'll get to see if it's series regular takes the checkered flag or a newcomer here tonight. Pace truck's already off. Derek Jones takes the green flag. We are ready to rock and roll 100 laps here at the Chili Bowl with the League of Outlaws. Oh, there's some bumping and banging as it's tight quarters on this very small racetrack. Oh, Foster gets it from behind. That stacks him up big out of turn 4, but we're going to remain under the green flag and a big crash into turn 1.
Oh my goodness.
Catastrophe for the couple of the top runners. Bridgen in the 14 has a broken left front. The 3 machine, Matthew Lind, actually went over on his lid, and another driver was involved in that one as well. We'll have to go back and take a look at that again. Keep an eye on the 3. You see the bouncing already out of turn 4. Everybody was trying to gather it up. There's Lind, Pridgeon, and I don't remember the name of the driver there on the inside in that green 11 machine. But you see, they kind of locked together, and Lind was trying to turn away from that barrier and couldn't. And he actually goes on top of a couple cars. Hunsinger drove underneath of him. Jared Murphy drove through him. There's some craziness to get this race underway for sure. As it looks like the pace truck's already off. We're about to go back to green flag racing. Derek Jones gets us back underway. Tyler Bickford's on his outside. He likes to see that. He's already moved up a couple of spots from that first accident. Then there's our points leader, James Murphy, right behind him. Then you got James Foster, Gavin Ropchin right behind them. Foster gets into James Murphy and gets him sideways as the yellow flag is displayed once more. Oh, and there's Ropchin and
out of 4.
Yeah, one car's on its lid as some more catastrophe. Trying to go back and find what actually started. It might have happened with the 34 machine of Corey Hightower. We're about to find out. Yep, Corey Hightower got into turn 1. The car got sideways and practically came to a stop. Jared Murphy was collected up in that. The 11 machine, the 3 machine, the 10 machine, all got some damage from that in turn number 1. And then there was the accident that happened after the yellow flag was already displayed.
That was with the 03, the 50, and the 3 maybe? No.
It was the 03 machine was a part of the incident on the front straightaway, and the 44, I believe, got tangled up.
Yeah, the car number in the iRacing here, the 47, got flipped upside down. We're back green.
And green flag's already out. These yellows go by fast. Derek Jones, Tyler Bickford with the great momentum on the outside tries to take the race lead in through 3 and 4, and they stacking them up again. And there's the yellow flag. Matt Pridgeon was stopped on the inside. There's the 44 machine of Chris Thibodeau was collected in that one again. As I believe somebody also left the pit area. That probably didn't help anything either, but these restarts with the double file is so tight together. We'll see exactly what happens as we get into turn 3. We're keeping an eye on the green machine. That's Alex Sun. Actually gets help from behind. He gets shoved up into league owner AJ Hunsinger, and they just kind of keep bouncing off of one another there in the center of the corner. And there's the orange and black 3 machine gets into Pridgeon in the 14. Pridgeon comes to a stop. Jared Murphy has nowhere to go. Chris Thibodeau nowhere to go, and they get collected up into that one as well. looks like Gavin Ropchin has called it a night. Leaves 15 cars still on the racetrack. We get the green flag once again. 6 laps in the books, working lap number 7. Tyler Bigford out to the early lead, taking over the lead from the 54 of Derek Jones. 1 car up into the outside wall. That's the 34 of Corey Hightower. And that brings out our 4th yellow of the night. Already early on in this one. You see the 34 of Hightower. Patriotic colors on his car here tonight. Hightower just gets a little high into turn number 3. Hits the retaining wall. And the car just pops up on the wall and goes over. They're coming to a rest on the roof of his machine. Has to get it towed into the work area. As it looks like the lights are already out on the pace truck. Here, Tim, how about you get us going for the next restart?
I would love that. We're going single file. It looks like Bickford's gonna roll the field through as he fires. James Murphy launches right behind him. Murphy elects the outside, does not follow Bickford as Murphy just almost gets to the outside. Had to slam on the brakes. Bickford was there. And Bickford looks to just roll away here in the early laps of this run.
1 car heading out of the pits. That's Corey Hightower there in the 34. Yeah, James Murphy, Tyler Bickford going out to an advantage. Then it's Derek Jones and Robert Floyd. 3rd and 4th. Yellow flag being displayed once again. I believe Corey Hightower was involved. AJ Hunsinger as well. I just talked about Hightower just left the pit. You see him gas it up out of the pit area, working his way on the berm, and there was the race leaders going by. Let's see what happens as Hightower. Oh, it actually wasn't Hightower. Hunsinger got spun at the exit of turn 2, and that brought the yellow flag out. There, so the single car spin there from AJ Hunsinger. A little, kind of off to a rough night up to this point, as we're already working our 5th caution of the night. Only 11 laps complete. Pace truck peels already back off. Single file restart once again. Bickford hits the gas. We're back underway. Bickford, James Murphy, Derek Jones, Robert Floyd, James Foster Jr. are top 5. On further back, it's Gunnar Collin in 6th. Matthew Lynn 7th. Braden Jarvis 8th. Alex Sun 9th. Matt Pridgeon rounds out the top 10. Chris Thibodeau 11th. Taylor Carruthers 12th. Jared Murphy 13th. AJ Hunsinger in 14th. And Carruthers has an issue there as Hightower has retired for the night. That leaves 14 drivers to finish this one out. Back up front though.
Murphy just wanting to get to the outside, just not able to. He's running out of room here. He needs a little bit longer of a straightaway, and I say that, and he pulls right along to the side of Bickford as they're side by side. Bickford elects not to slide up as he's trying to just wrap that bottom, maybe hitting the inside of the track there, losing some speed as Murphy looks to complete the pass. The O2 machine, who is closing in at a fast rate of speed, that's Robert Floyd.
I'll tell you what, Tim, we've seen it the past few weeks. Tyler Bickford, James Murphy, always seem to find themselves battling for the top spot, and they battle each other as clean and as hard as possible. And you see that lap after lap here in this one as James Murphy is to the lead, but Bickford
got one around. Pridgeon, I'm sorry, cutting you off. Pridgeon letting that 11 car know that he is not happy.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to go back and see if we can decipher what originally brought the yellow flag out. We're going to take a look at the 14 machine of Matt Pridgeon as he was working through 3 and 4, and I believe that's Sun underneath of him. They get down into 1 and 2 and they make contact, and Pridgeon goes around. Jared Murphy gets collected up into that with nowhere to go. Thibodeau, heavy contact to Jared Murphy. There is once Pridgeon got turned around. Oh my, Pridgeon almost backed through Sun and drove through him as he got back going. So probably a little bit of frustration from the 14 machine of Matt Pridgeon. As the pace truck is already peeling off. James Murphy gets us back underway. 20 laps in the books now. Tyler Bickford second, Robert Floyd third, James Foster Jr. fourth, and Connor Cullen in fifth. Matthew Lynn trying to make up some spots as he's the first car, I believe, on the outside line, running the cushion there in the 6th position. Yellow, yellow, yellow displayed once again. I believe that's Alex Sun and Chris Thibodeau. It is. We're going to go back and take a look at exactly what happened. As Thibodeau, you see, he still is damaged on the left front of his race car as he's trying to get back going under green. Pridgeon has a look underneath of him. Thibodeau hits that outside retaining wall hard, and Alex Sun has nowhere to go and makes contact, goes right into him, and that brought out the yellow flag. Looks like Alex Sun may have potentially called it a night as well there in the 14th spot. Thibodeau's exiting the pit area and rejoining the field. Tim, how about you get us going for this restart?
All right, James Murphy is going to lead Bickford as Bickford follows in tow. They launch. James elects to roll the bottom this time. He does not go up high. Does that mean Bickford is going to go opposite of James as they're both tailing each other, playing a little game of copycat? I can do what you do better.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a big stack up, Tim, in the middle of the pack on the restart. I'm surprised the yellow flag didn't come out. Matthew Lind, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick as he's just in front of the race leaders here. Going to be in trouble of going 1 lap down. Top 3 have separated themselves. That's our series regulars, James Murphy, Tyler Bickford, Robert Floyd. Then in a little bit of a gap now back to the 16 machine of Connor Cullen, who's made up quite a few spots here in this one. Then James Foster Jr., Derek Jones, Jared Murphy, who's trying to mount a charge. In 7th, AJ Hunsinger 8th, and then it's side-by-side Braden Jarvis, Taylor Carruthers, and Matt Pridgeon right there as well. We might be in for a longer green flag run here as the field has started to spread themselves out. James Murphy, Tyler Bickford, Robert Floyd, all 3 of the drivers working the low line right there against the berm of the infield. Still quite a long way to go in this one. As he comes across the line, James Murphy that is, as we have 70 laps to go, 30 complete. See if we can find the next battle on the racetrack. That's going to be 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And there's our next yellow flag. I believe it happened around the Matt Pridgeon area. We're going to take a look at this. You see Matt Pridgeon in the 14, Braden Jarvis in the 10. They were side by side. down into turn number 1. Braden Jarvis in the 10 has a little better entry speed into 1 and was trying to take a peek underneath Matt Pridgeon into 14. He makes pretty good contact, enough to get Matt Pridgeon turned around. And Braden Jarvis was actually stopped on top of Pridgeon's machine. And then Pridgeon kind of pushes him over onto his roof there, so Braden has to get towed into the work area. Matt Pridgeon will roll and pick up the tail of the field. Chris Thibodeau visiting the work area as well. Thibodeau exits, pace truck peels off. And I believe Braden Jarvis has called it a night. Green flag back in the air. James Murphy. A couple of car lengths advantage back to Tyler Bickford and Robert Floyd right there as well. Just 12 drivers remain to finish out these last 67 laps or so. We got a battle brewing back here. Matthew Lind, he's up on the outside looking to make something happen. He's banging off the wall. Looking to take a peek to the outside of Taylor Carruthers there in that 3T machine. Carruthers slides up across the nose of Lind.
Closed the door. He absolutely
3 wide.
got it right in his face. There's still 3 wide. Beating and banging, it ain't gonna work as they turn in turn 3.
And we saw it all live as that was the first battle on the racetrack. You know, it's one thing to go side by side with these cars at this racetrack, but it's another thing to try to go 3 wide. And it did not work. They found out really quick that it did not work. Thibodeau back in the work area. Carruthers as well, visiting the pit area. Thibodeau rejoins the field. Pace truck peels off. Tim, get us going.
Alrighty, James Murphy is gonna roll through 3. He's gonna try and time it. Bickford times it just as good as James. Is guess who also timed it just as good? That is Robert Floyd in that O2 machine. He was all over Bickford, as now Bickford is all over James. Just trying to get going here, and we got a car coming out of the pit lane. That will be Taylor.
Yep, Carruthers there, a couple laps down in the 12th spot. But all single file until we get back around the area of AJ Hunsinger. Hunsinger is up on the outside of the 3 machine of Matthew Lind. Looks like James Foster Jr. may be having some connection issues as I see his name jumping around the leaderboard. But side by side, still going to be Lind and Hunsinger. This is for the 9th and 10th place positions. Chris Thibodeau there in the 11th spot. Back up front, James Murphy. Maybe slightly starting to pull a bit of an advantage back to the 07 there of Tyler Bickford. Robert Floyd hanging right on to the tail end of Bickford in the 07 in that final podium spot. Then a little bit of a gap back to the 16 of Connor Collin. James Foster Jr. and series regular Jared Murphy in that 64. Jared Murphy might be taking a peek to the inside of the 50 as the 50's working about a half a lane up the racetrack from where Jared is running. then a little bit of a gap. Derek Jones in the 54, Matt Pridgeon in the 14. We've seen Matt's been certainly having a bit of a challenge here tonight. Is he trying to look underneath Derek Jones, and Will in the middle of 1 and 2. He's right there underneath of him. They make contact. Jones into the outside wall, and Pridgeon moves forward another spot, but Jones going to challenge right back on the inside into turn number 1. They make heavy contact. Pridgeon goes around once again. And Matthew Lind gets collected up in another one as well. Tim, I think we've seen that more than once tonight.
Yeah.
As it seems like one car, what happens, it seems to me like we have one car that enters the corner and gets the car a little bit more sideways than the guy to the inside. Then they end up making contact. And when they do that, it just sends that car on the outside directly around. He has nothing else he can do. And then it seems like at least one or two more get collected up into it with the tight quarters here at the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, we're all talking about before we had yellow. You were talking about having a difficult time getting around people, especially passing wise. How about Jared Murphy trying to get by that 50 machine? Just not hating on James Foster, but man, it is extremely difficult to pass a car while they are blinking, and to do it here, you've got to be extremely talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I can say.
I'm going to second that, Tim, for sure. Green flag goes back in the air, but to continue that thought, with how tight of racing this is, these two cars, if you're side by side with another car, it's almost impossible to not make a bit of contact as you race side by side with just how tight it is around here. So making a clean pass would be somewhat, not really somewhat, would be a definite challenge here tonight without making somebody a little frustrated at how you got around them. Top three remain the same. Even our fourth place driver, Colin, but he's got some company, the likes of the 64 of Jared Murphy, as he has finally worked his way into the top 5 here tonight.
Yeah, he got by that 50 machine on the restart. There was a massive stack up with the 16, the 50, and the 64. 64 was able to take advantage. He got by the 50. Now he's going to try and work over that 16 machine of Connor Cullen.
Absolutely. Able to take advantage of it. A little bit of a stack up. James Foster Jr., AJ Hunsinger, Matt Pridgeon. Really close racing. Drivers really got to pay attention and not run each other over. As we've seen a few, Derek Jones took a peek to the inside of Pridgeon and almost had a repeat of what happened a few laps ago. Almost once again. You got to be so careful if you get underneath somebody like that. They got to give you the lane. If not, the contact will send them around. As you see, Jared Murphy with the power move around the outside of that 16 machine of Connor Collin puts him into the top 4 for the first time here tonight. Then Collin struggling. James Foster looks to the inside and the cars get tangled up. AJ Hunsinger, Matt Pridgeon make contact. Somehow Collin went all the way around into 360 and continues on, but major damage to the left front of his race car as he's going to have to try to limp it into the work area. Chris Thibodeau going around as well. My, oh my, once one thing starts, it's kind of a chain reaction. Keep an eye on the 44 of Thibodeau as you see the mayhem happening in front. And it looks like at this point everybody's going to get back going. No harm, no foul. The 3T and the 3 machines get together there. Thibodeau's just trying to find a way around Matt Pridgeon. As they exit turn number 2, Pridgeon has some serious damage on the right front. He tried to turn into the pit area, and Thibodeau tried to gas it to get around him and spun the 44 machine around. Matt Pridgeon finally gets into the work area here tonight. As he gets that car serviced, and he's going to head back out there. We are past the halfway point. 57 laps are complete. Working our 11th caution so far here in our feature. Pace truck peels off. Jared Murphy in control, or excuse me, James Murphy in control. He gasses it back up, gets the green flag. We are back underway. It looks like Matthew Lind up on the outside trying to take advantage of the restart. He got into the outside wall. He hits Cullen in a 16, Hunsinger in a 33, and gets spun around at the exit of turn number 4. We remain under green. For now, looks like Lind just got that car towed right before the leaders got there. James Murphy, Tyler Bickford, Robert Floyd, the top 3, and then Jared Murphy. They're in the 4th spot. Those are all series regulars. Jared Murphy trying to find a way around Floyd in the 0-2 as he's working that outside line, I think. He's got something for Robert, Tim.
Yeah, he's trying to get by this 0-2 machine, but that 0-2 machine is making it wide in the corner, and he lost a bit of momentum right there. He got up on the berm, and he's gonna do it again. He lost more momentum. Jared Murphy's gonna get right on by as he's gonna have the momentum here. There you go, he completed the pass.
Yeah, moved Jared Murphy into the top 3 here tonight. Hard work for the 64 machine to get to this point. Matthew Lind, just an update, calls it a night. There, he's going to get credited with the 12th spot. That leaves 11 on the racetrack. Back up front, James Murphy, Tyler Bickford have separated themselves by 2 seconds over the rest of the field. That's first and second.
Hey, Bentley, can we go on that helmet cam of Tyler Bickford to see what he's trying to do here?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to ride on board here. This is the helmet cam we've got in the Tyler Bickford machine as he trails James Murphy in the 65, just trying to do everything he can to hang right there with him. And you can see with his hands on that steering wheel, you know, these drivers, you're not driving straight at all. As a matter of fact, you're not really ever turning left. I don't think the wheel ever goes left, maybe for just a quarter of a second, if anything, but most of the time you've got right input into these machines to work around this short Chili Bowl racetrack here at the Tulsa Expo Center. But Tyler Bickford is just matching James Murphy lap for lap as we come around. That completes lap 72. They have opened up a little bit more of advantage back to Jared there in the 64. Jared separated himself from Robert Floyd and James Foster Jr. First side-by-side battle is going to be Taylor Carruthers and Derek Jones. That settles down. Uh-oh. Connor Collin got into the back end of Chris Thibodeau in the 44. Pretty heavy contact, too. Thibodeau takes a peek underneath Derek Jones in the 54. Not able to do anything with it that time. Going to try once again through 3 and 4. Going to continue to settle in forward now. As Derek Jones running that outside line, keeping the momentum up, able to hold on to it. Back up front. Still the same James Murphy, Tyler Bickford, and Bickford, if anything, has closed in a little closer to James in that 65. But now Bickford would have to find his way around.
He's definitely closed the gap. Cause he's got to be hoping that we stay green here and get into a bit of traffic.
Yeah, I would for sure say so, Tim. If you're Bickford in the 07, you'd want to get into some traffic. Challenge James Murphy there in the 65. Try to get around them. Jared Murphy has closed a little bit of that advantage to our top two up, just ever so slightly. Thibodeau and Derek Jones are now officially side by side. Derek Jones on the outside in the 54, Thibodeau on the inside in the 44. This is a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th position. James Foster in the 50 trying to hold on and keep both of those drivers at bay there behind him. As James Murphy in the 65 gets oh so closer to lap traffic, has now put a little bit of an advantage to Tyler Bickford, as Bickford's now a half a second back, as Bickford we saw was trying to move up to the middle part of the racetrack and started losing some lap time, so now he's heading back to the bottom. And just in front of our race leaders is going to be Matt Bridgen in the 14, AJ Hunsinger in the 33. They are at risk to go one lap down if we stay green in this one. Jared Murphy running all alone in third, and then there's Robert Floyd and Taylor Carruthers fourth and fifth. James Foster Jr. in sixth, and then the unsettled battle between Derek Jones and Chris Thibodeau for 7th and 8th.
I tell you what, Bickford's there. He's to the inside of James Murphy. Yeah, well, he was. James shut the doors. He shuts the door again.
These two drivers are not going to race each other dirty. Bickford is not going to wreck James Murphy to win this race. Bickford's going to try to win it fair and square and as clean as possible. James Murphy has caught the lap traffic. Matt Bridgen is there. He's going to take the outside. James Murphy is going to be on the inside. Bickford wants to see this. It's going to allow him to close the advantage. James Murphy's not going to be able to exit quite the way he wants to. Bickford does eat away at that gap just ever so slightly. Bridgen trying to keep it out of the leader's way as he continues to run the outside. AJ Hunsinger with an issue getting into the outside wall, and caution flag displayed once again. I believe Connor Cullen with the issue. See what happened to the 16 machine. Getting into turn 3, he just gets the car way too sideways there, and AJ Hunsinger had to work around him, as well as the race leaders and Matt Bridgen. Aaron Collin just kept that car to a stop on the outside part of the racetrack and allowed it all the drivers to drive by there on the inside. Oh, and he almost gassed it up into James Foster. Uh-oh, Connor Cullen. Uh-oh. That was not good as he gassed it up to try to take out the 50 of James Carruthers. Or excuse me, Taylor Carruthers. As we go back to green flag racing with just 8 laps to go in this one. James Murphy, Tyler Bickford, Jared Murphy, your top 3. Derek Jones with an issue a little further back as his car not turning as the left front is broke on his machine. And he gets help, almost goes up and over, and will go into the pit area. 9 cars left on the racetrack. Now to turn 4, 5 to go at the line. It's been all James Murphy and Tyler Bickford out front. It's been a great run for Jared Murphy to get to the top 3 with all the controversy and the battles he had to get through to get to this point here tonight. Great showing as well for the O2 machine of Robert Floyd. Ran in the top 3 for a majority of the race and is currently holding on to the 4th spot. Taylor Carruthers bump on the outside wall. Out of turn 4 this time, James Murphy gets the white flag. Tyler Bickford trails right behind him. We get into 3 and 4 for the final time, and out of turn 4, domination continues. James Murphy gonna get the checkered flag here tonight. Tyler Bickford comes home in 2nd, and Jared Murphy rounds out the podium here tonight. We'll get to talk to the top 3 in just a few moments. Robert Floyd will be credited with 4th. Again, a fantastic run for him. Taylor Carruthers 5th, AJ Hunsinger 6th, James Foster Jr. 7th, Matt Pridgeon 8th, Chris Thibodeau 9th, Derek Jones 10th, Connor Collin 11th, Matthew Lynn 12th, Braden Jarvis 13th, 14th goes to Alex Sun, and 15th to Corey Hightower. 16th goes to Gavin Ropchin. And those were our starters tonight in our feature. Before we start our interview portion here tonight, we're going to step aside and get a word from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. All right, everybody, welcome back into the Buckeye Racing Network. We're going to get our interviews started off here tonight. Start things out with Jared Murphy in the 64. Hey, Jared, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sir.
Well, Jared, we were talking about it on the show and noted what you had to go through, the battles you had to make, and the some of the early accidents in tonight's feature you had to get through to get up to the top 3. It certainly wasn't an easy task. Tell us how you were able to get by a lot of these drivers here tonight.
I just rode around at the beginning of the race. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time a few times, and once I got my car fixed, I was like determined I was just gonna ride around and wait for some more accidents and put myself in the best place I could.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were trying to go. We were on board with a few of the drivers here tonight, and this Chili Bowl racetrack, the quarters is so tight. It's really hard, I think, to be side by side. Let alone we saw 3 wide ones tonight. That definitely did not work. As a driver, I feel like you got to have a certain level of confidence when you're battling somebody side by side, regardless of whether you're on the inside or the outside. What is your mindset when you're trying to make a pass here at the Tulsa Expo Center?
Just give everybody as much room as I possibly can without slowing down. I mean, I was on the bottom. I was staying right there against the apron. And when I was ripping top, I just waited until they left me in lane. I wasn't going to just try to shove it in a hole. I knew it was going to kill me. So just kept my calm and drove it through the field there.
Yeah, you certainly did. Tim, you got anything for Jared?
Yeah, Jared. I seen you trying to battle with the 50. You were having some trouble getting by him. Uh, was there anything that you could have done differently to set up to complete the pass there?
Yeah, I probably could have went around the outside of them, but I really wanted to just start saving my tires. And the last couple laps, I decided to send it and see what I can do. I just didn't have anything left by the time I got through the field.
Well, Jared, it still was a great run for you here tonight, coming home in the 3rd spot. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
I'd like to thank y'all for all the awesome broadcasts. Everybody with the League of Outlaws for all their hard work. AJ Hunt Singer for my rap and talking dirt.
All right, Jared, again, great run and congratulations on the top three. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank y'all.
All right, let's talk to our second place finisher tonight, Tyler Bickford. Hey, Tyler, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It was the James and Tyler show all night. You had a great run. You had a great rhythm here at the Chili Bowl. Week in and week out, we see you and James Murphy have great, clean battles. We know how much respect you both have for one another. What a great run for you tonight. Tell us, what's the keys to getting around this racetrack?
Main thing is just being smooth. If you're not smooth, you're not getting around Chili Bowl. And lots of throttle control, especially towards the end there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see just how much this track has slicked off, and it probably became a more or so a single lane racetrack as it looked like you and James both were using the bottom there in the closing 30 laps or so.
Yeah, he kind of used a little slider line there for a little bit, and I felt like I was getting a better drive, but that caution came out, and I don't think I had anything left for him.
Well, nonetheless, Tyler, a fantastic run for you here tonight. Tim.
Yeah, Tyler, what was going through your head throughout the entire race, and were you having fun around this track? Cause it sure looked difficult from my stand.
Yeah, man, it's always a good time racing with James and these guys. Uh, Chili Bowl is just even more fun because it is more difficult, I think. Even if it gets one lane, still fun.
Absolutely. It looked like once we got to some green flag racing, everybody was able to settle in and get a good rhythm. It did look like quite a bit of fun out there then. Before we let you go tonight, Tyler, anybody you need to thank?
I gotta thank you guys for the broadcast, League Outlaws for putting it on, East Coast Sim Sports, Extreme Rap Studios, and Majula Say, even though this is fixed, they're on the car. Gotta say it.
All right, Tyler. Well, again, great run here tonight. Coming home in the second spot. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. It's our second place finisher, Tyler Bickford. Let's talk to our winner. Hey, James, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, the domination continues here this season, bringing home another checkered flag, this time at the Chili Bowl here tonight. We know you had to work through some early yellows. We got quite a string of them to start tonight's events off. Had a great battle with Tyler Bickford. We know how much respect both you drivers have for one another and the clean racing you always have. You're just able to hold him off there in the closing laps. How were you able to do it?
I knew when the track slicked off, it's gonna be harder to pass, so I was kind of being a little bit aggressive at the beginning. And we had a really good race for there for about 10, 15 laps. We were side by side. And we was racing really good. Just those cautions, we had to do a hosted session tonight because car count was down a little bit, but we had the car count, just didn't have the quality we was looking for. But it was at the end, it was a good race. Once we got rid of some of the people that caused them problems, but I mean, you can't ask for no better racing. With 2, 3 wide racing, just people just need a little bit more patience.
Absolutely. I mean, we definitely talked about it on the broadcast how tight the quarters are here at the Tulsa Expo Center, and you were able to navigate all of it and bring home another win here tonight. Tim, you got anything?
Yeah, what what's the key to get around this place? You made it look effortless. You made a bunch of passes. You started from seventh in the feature. You finished first. What was the key to get around?
Just being real smooth. It's easy to spin tires here because you're on so much gear. So you have to be real easy on the gas and just trying to keep straight. There ain't no grip out there to hit. It's just trying to keep it straight and keep the momentum up. And just keep your car clean for most of it, because it's such a tight track. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I do not like this track. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't race good. But we put on the best race we could here.
Yeah, that you guys did. You and Tyler Bickford definitely put on a good show for us and everybody watching at home. Before we let you go, James, who do you need to thank?
Thank y'all for the awesome broadcast. Everybody with the League of Outlaws, AJ Hunsinger with the rap and talking dirt.
All right, James. Well, again, big congratulations and awesome job continuing on the win streak here this season. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank y'all.
All right, that is going to conclude our interview portion of tonight's events. Closing thoughts from you, Tim.
What a bar fight. That's what if you want to call it a bar fight here tonight. Everyone was scrappy, and they got it done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know, like James had said, they did the hosted session here tonight to try to get the car count up, which they did. And you got to work through the early kinks of the feature with drivers that don't normally race with one another, and then you throw in that we're at the Chili Bowl racetrack and how tight it is out here with these big race cars that aren't really designed to be going around here, but they have built the set. And once we got to green flag racing, it did look pretty fun trying to navigate around this racetrack. But again, James Murphy continuing on at the dominance here this season. That's going to wrap up race number 13. Upcoming for us on the Buckeye Racing Network. We won't be live till next Sunday night for race 14 of the League of Outlaws season. So we'll get the broadcast kicked off about 9:15 Eastern Time next Sunday night. So come on out, be a part of that with us if you haven't. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you'll know each and every time we go live here on the Buckeye Racing Network. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. So long, everybody.